OneFootball is the app that you need to cover everything related to your favourite football team and general football news. Use the OneFootball app so you're up to date with every team's transfer news, team stats, fixture lists, competitions and much more. Personalise your feed. Get alerts to the news and stories you want. Download the OneFootball app today. Your football fix is only a swipe away. Hello everyone, I'm Nini FC and this is Blue Lines TV, and today I'm bringing back a transfer daily video. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Nini, it's October, like what you playing at, what you doing? Anyway you guys, there have been a lot of interesting rumours I thought were worth discussing and giving my thoughts and opinions on. And to kick things off with, talking about that main man again, Alexis Sanchez. Now, the Daily Mirror have reported that we are being linked with Alexis Sanchez again and potentially trying to push through a move for this January. Now, what they're basically trying to say is there have been some small rumours and reports coming out that this could be potentially Conte's last season at Chelsea and that he does want to return to Serie A and that he wasn't necessarily so happy with how the transfer window went this summer. And what they're trying to say in the Daily Mirror is that we're very happy and adamant to bring in big players to try and persuade Conte to stay at Chelsea. Now, we do know Conte signed a new contract. It wasn't an extension, but it was, an increase in money, basically, to persuade him to stay with us. It's not the first time that Conte's done this as well. Of course, this happened at Juventus. But with Alexis Sanchez, is there any credibility to this story? Well, if anything, this is a perfect way for me to really clarify the whole saga during the transfer window this summer. Now, you guys, I have been fortunate enough to have two very good sources that have been giving me some inside information regarding some of the transfer dealings happening at Chelsea. Now, not every single transfer daily video means I've got exclusive information, because if I did have it, you'll see breaking news in the thumbnail. That's not necessarily the case all the time. Most times it's me giving thoughts and opinions on what's happening. Now, with Alexis Sanchez, the reason why he never came in the end was because Bonucci was sold very quickly and Juventus don't like to sell big players very often. At the same time, with how Marina Granovskova was in charge of the transfer dealings, she was very, she was taking her time in terms of negotiating and really just paying the prices for players. I'll give you an example. Danny Drinkwater, on the final day of the transfer windows when we finally signed him, and it took us making 2 bids on the transfer deadline day to sign him for 35 million. And it's kind of like, we could have paid this fee up front immediately if we were already going to pay the money. So it's like, this is what we were really dealing with this summer. There was a very high possibility that Sandro would have come, but negotiations were too slow. At the same time, Alexis Sanchez hasn't signed a new contract at Juventus this season. Do I see him staying there for the rest of his career? No, I don't think so. What other clubs could he really go to? Real Madrid have Marcelo, Alaba's at Bayern Munich, Barcelona have Jordi Alba, Man City have Benjamin Mendy, Manchester United are a possibility, especially it seems like Luke Shaw's in his final year of his contract. Who knows? In terms of competition, I don't see it being too high. And as I was saying in a few videos too, in the Transfer Daily videos, that I expect us to go back in for him this summer and make a move. Juventus have a habit of sending one top class player per season. It's either going to be him or Dybala who are going to leave. And I think there's a possibility that Sandro will come this summer if we do go in for him. And it seems now that Abramovich wasn't very happy as well with some of the negotiation practices. We could be going back in for Alexis Sanchez and bringing him in. Now, moving on to another story reported by the Daily Mirror, and that is Alexis Sanchez. Now, of course, there are some, not credibility, but you have to remember his contract is expiring. He hasn't signed a new contract at all. And it looks like he's definitely going to be leaving. Now, in January, he can sign pre-contract agreements. So once he's done that, he's officially moved. So expect to see a lot of reports intensifying surrounding Alexis Sanchez. Now, of course, Man City are still one of the favourites, allegedly. I honestly don't see what the point would be. I mean, they've already stacked in those positions already. Maybe Pep's thinking, I don't know if I can rely on Aguero too much with his injuries, for example. But, he's got quality in Gabriel Jesus. And he's been experimenting with Raheem Sterling, playing as a striker as well. So if anything, I just think maybe that's Asian talk to try and garner interest and try and, increase the profile of his player. There have been reports before by Sanchez stating that he would like to stay in London. There's a possibility that we could go in for him, and all we'd have to pay for is his wages. Do I think we need Alexis Sanchez? I think he fit the system perfectly. Can you imagine Sanchez, Hazard and Morata up front in the front three? It would be beautiful, that interchange, the goal threat, the one-on-one dribbling ability by, that all three possess. I mean, that could really make us favourites for the Champions League. And this is a personal one by me, but I haven't given up on us trying to sign Sandro and Alexis Sanchez, because in my opinion, they're the only two players we need to really get back with the big boys in Europe, with the likes of Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Barcelona, etc. And I think that's what we need. But with Alexis Sanchez, of course, you know what? I don't see him staying at Arsenal. I think this will be his final season. And as I said, expect a lot more stories and reports to come out intensifying around Alexis Sanchez's departure from Arsenal. Now, a few more stories to really talk about. Javier Pastore. It's been reported by TalkSport Spain that he's available for 26 million. It's been previous history with him and Conte. Conte has always been a big admirer, especially when Pastore was playing for Palermo. It was actually a player that Conte was trying to bring to Juventus. Available for 26 million, Paris Saint-Germain have spent a ridiculous amount of money this summer. Neymar and Mbappe alone, more than 400 million for two players. It's craziness. It's crazy than Football Manager. This is real life. It's a complete madness. Paris Saint-Germain, of course, there's still financial fair play. They have a few players that they have that they're thinking could potentially be available for decent money. Pastore is there for a very attractive price of 26 million for a 28-year-old who is in his prime now and can easily fulfill a role in midfield for the next 5 seasons. Conte is he's an admirer. Tactical reasons as well. If we were to utilize a 3-5-2 more, maybe Conte's thinking Pastore might be able to fit that midfield position more than Fabregas, because we know that Pastore could be the one who's actually pushing further up the pitch and playing behind the front too, as he has played in midfield for Paris Saint-Germain, but traditionally he's a playmaking midfielder, one of the most skillful playmaking midfielders in Europe. There's no denying that. Incredible skill and ability. 26 million though, do I think it's needed? I mean, who knows? I mean, the real reason why Fabregas is still at Chelsea is not because Conte would persuade him to stay, it's because Chelsea couldn't get rid of him because he's on ridiculously high wages and Fabregas isn't taking a pay cut. That's some information I've been given. So if anything, don't be surprised that we will be linked with more midfield players, as Conte is looking for that blend of physicality and work rate that for some reason he holds against Fabregas, and this is the reason why he doesn't play as many games. Moving on to another story, and that is Ghoulam from Napoli. Now, Ghoulam is another player who is potentially going to leave. He's in his final year of his contract. Napoli are trying their hardest to get him to sign a new contract, and they're putting an attractive £40 million buyout clause. So if potential suitors want to buy him, he's a possibility. He's available. At the same time, reports are coming out, especially from another Napoli player. He's a Portuguese left back called Mario Rui. His agent is actually saying that Ghoulam's leaving. If he wanted to stay, he would have signed a new contract already by now. He hasn't done that, and he can sign pre-contract agreements in January. So there's quite a few players available in the market or in the final year of their contract this year. So expect a lot of rumours pushing up until we reach January. Ghoulam's another one, especially one of the best left backs in Serie A. Been in fantastic form for Napoli, brings up defensive solidity plus the work rate. Fantastic crossing, very good pushing up by himself as well. And it's no surprise that another club have been linked with him, and that's Juventus. Juventus are looking at him as an alternative or a possibility in case Alexis Sanchez was ever to leave. And to be honest, this would make complete sense for Juventus because it's, it fits in with their transfer policy, bringing in top class players for very small prices. Ghoulam would be a great alternative to Alexis Sanchez if he left. Imagine Juventus are getting the top left back, one of the best in Serie A, plus 60+ million for a player. Plus they can invest in other areas of their team that weaken, like midfield. It seems like a win-win. Let's pray to the football gods. Something, this kind of common sense stuff is happening behind the scenes, because I haven't given up hopes that Alexis Sanchez can still join Chelsea next summer. Now, to end the transfer daily with a few more stories, there's a guy from Middlesbrough called Dale Fry. Dale Fry has managed to get himself into the Middlesbrough team this season. He was on loan at Oldham last season. Gary Monk is the manager at Middlesbrough at this moment in time, and he has had a very solid partnership with another Middlesbrough player we were linked with called Ben Gibson. And so far, Middlesbrough have had the third best defensive record in the Championship so far. They are 11th, so there's nothing too impressive because they're still not creating chances, and that's always been their problem. But Dale Fry is being looked at now. My immediate impression, I'm thinking, is this is something for the loan army. You know, at this end of the day, we have to realise the loan army really is there to make money and make a profit. That's what it's there for. Dale Fry fits into that policy. You're bringing him for a very cheap fee. We've got a relationship with Middlesbrough already, especially with some of the players we've loaned out to them in the previous history, like Chalobah and currently Lewis Baker as well. At the same time, Dale Fry, would it make sense for him to really want to leave Middlesbrough? I mean, we've got a lot of top-class young defenders already. Jake Clark-Salter, of course, Zoom is going to be coming back as well. Christensen's starting to make a name for himself, plus Javier Chalobah and Reece James. So, is he really needed? I'm not too sure, but at the same time, it's what clubs are supposed to do. Scout, look at every possible alternative there is, and try and decide what's going to happen. So, do I really think there's much to it? I don't think so, but if he was to come, it's a signing straight for the loan army. Ending the video on two more players, there's a Spanish defender we're being linked with, a youth team defender who's playing for Osasuna called Iker Vicente, and this guy is supposed to be dubbed the new Gerard Piqué. Now, it seems like Barcelona are favourites for him, but Chelsea are trying very hard to bring him to the club. We've had a history of bringing in top class players. Christensen is a prime example, and when you're a young player and you come to Chelsea, you probably get the best footballing education in Europe at this moment in time. The problem is when they reach 18 it becomes a different story, but that's another video for another time. But it seems like Barcelona are going to be favourites, but Chelsea are still trying their best to persuade them to come and join the academy. And of course, young players win things and they get a fantastic football education, so we're always going to have a chance of bringing in some of Europe's very top young players. And to end the Transfer Daily video, there's a wonder kid we're being linked with from Romania called Koeman, and Koeman's playing for Steaua Bucharest. He is a left winger, and allegedly the president has put an 88 million release clause on him because he got gas on the Mbappe transfer. Now they only signed him for 2 million this season. There's no way in hell his value's gone up by that much. And if anything, it's just a bit of hype surrounding the player. Maybe it's pretty smart, trying to market the player, garner interest for any possible future transfer dealings, because clubs like Steaua, that's how they make their money. And if they can bring in big money for a Romanian player, that's only going to help the finances at their club. Now, allegedly, Emanalo was at attendance to actually watch him play in a game. That's part of his job. Emanalo is going to go around and look at the players that's being scouted. He's got a very good keen eye when it comes to signing young players especially, and it's no surprise that he's going to actually watch him to get a good impression of what he's about. But all I know so far is he's a left winger, and we're allegedly looking into him as a possible player to bring in, and I'm sure it's definitely going to be for the loan army. But anyway, you guys, thank you for watching today's Transfer Daily video. Yeah, I know it's in October, but I've already explained why. There was a lot of rumours that happened today. I wanted to give some thoughts and opinions on what's really happening, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Anyway, you guys, I'm NiniFC. This is Blue Lines TV, signing out.